So let's talk about that interpersonal part as well. You mentioned what happened when students were sent home for a significant period of time, didn't have the social engagement, didn't have the in person education, didn't have the team building that happens, even when you're not teaching in a formal way, to the natural give and take and learning that you do when you're young or when you're a teenager and you're learning your way through a social network. How do you think that the advent of advanced AI could either help or harm this? Because I've also talked to some in the psychological space, so we can kind of take two of your bullet points and try to put them together here. Some who've said, well, AI could be helpful for those who struggle with interpersonal issues because it's almost like a safety net for them. They struggle with the in person, but if they had the aid of an AI tool or something, that would help them almost like a crutch to get them through the difficult opening engagements. And then I've heard others who say, well, yes, it could be helpful for a small segment of the population, but for most people who are naturally social creatures, this is really going to be a negative and it's going to keep people away from each other. What is your take on both sides of that equation? For people who struggle to have normal social interactions, does AI have a potential benefit? And for those who are normally gregarious and outgoing people, is this going to be a barrier for them?
Well, I'm not sure what one would call normal social interactions in what regards people who, for a number of reasons, uh, being a minority of the population, of course, struggle with them. Of course, we have all been reading about artificial intelligence, in fact, writing opening lines in social dating networks and that kind of thing, and also even keeping a conversation. The issue is that the vast majority of the population will actually lose this day to day affinity with society and with other human beings. And if this becomes implemented across the board, then we are going to end up in a self fulfilling prophecy, like the people who do have, because they have been born with, some problems and impediments in social capacity. So, yes, I fully agree with the second alternative of your argument that if we have, when we're talking about the vast majority of socially adept and gregarious humans, 95%, however much that would be, artificial intelligence is going to create a cultural, a social enfeeblement in this case.